Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantel. We're here to rate these castaways of Survivor 44.
You guys, it's time to give out some dice. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And y'all, we got a special guest, Mr. Season 43, a draft winner himself. Danny McCray is back. How are you? And how the heck did you pick Gabler to win?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And I got lucky with Gabler. I watched the videos and the preseason stuff, and I was like, that's the guy. He has to be the guy. So, I just got a little lucky, but I knew he was going to be the guy that everybody thought was old, was a little weird probably, and he was smarter than he was letting on, being a surgeon and all that good stuff. So I was like, yeah, he's got more to him than what we can see.
So who do you have for this season? It's like your oracle.
Listen, this season is not as fair because they have a former NFL player on there. So I'm biased toward, I hope that he goes on there and gets the win. But man, Dan is playing a good game, and then who knew that Carolyn would be like this good?
Who knew? I mean, Carolyn is this season's Gabler. Like, no one saw it coming except maybe you.
I didn't see Carolyn. I didn't see.
Yeah. That's a hard one. So we are going to go through the remaining cast here and give out some dice. Reminder to everyone, it's 1 through 5. 1 dice, horrible gameplay. 5 dice, really great gameplay. We're not going to talk about Josh and Matthew. We missed talking about both of those weeks. So does anyone have any high-level thoughts they want to throw out about Josh or Matthew?
Well, I was kind of disappointed that, well, we knew that Matthew was going to have that injury because we saw it in the previews that we knew something was going to happen. And then we keep on hearing him mention him taking it in and out of the sling and whatnot. But I hate people being taken out of the game due to injury. It's just it's just really frustrating. And I kind of wanted them to go to tribal. That I wanted to see what would happen. That would have built some different trust between Carolyn and Jam. It kind of sucked for that it didn't get to go through how it should have gone through. So I was kind of I don't know. I was just disappointed with how that whole storyline kind of came and went.
Yeah, I felt not as bad. I usually feel bad when an injury happens because of something that you're doing, like during a challenge, or maybe you're looking for idleness or stuff like that. As soon as he did it, I was like, you are wasting your opportunity to come out here every time you do something crazy like that. So didn't feel as bad. It does suck that he had to leave because of it. And then Josh, I'm like, they found him out already. He was they already pegged him as a bad liar. I really think that he was on his way out that time, but it would have been fun to see how it went, because who knows what Jam if he would have messed it up or if he would have got it done.
Yeah, Josh, as much as I wanted him to be a better player, he really wasn't so great. And I was kind of curious as to, he was like, oh, I'm in the best position. I can go whichever way I want. And they're just like, oh, we're going to get him out next, right? And so, it's just the fact that he had no idea that he literally was on the bottom of his tribe and he thought he was in the power position. I was like, oh, poor guy. But in seeing his exit interviews, he's taking it on the chin. He's not he's not a sore loser at all. He's realizing that he kind of had some shortcomings. So I like seeing that he's kind of positive after the fact.
Yeah, it's hard when people are like, I'm sitting pretty, and you're like, what? I mean, their tribe wanted him out so bad that they weren't even like, let's be so strong to have the numbers now that we're in merge. None of that. It was like, let's go ahead and get Josh out.
He's like, I can't wait to get back with my people. I have all my people.
At the merch feats are all like, yeah, Josh, yeah, we wanted him out next. And he's just so excited that he's back.
Oh, poor guy. Not a good liar whatsoever. All right, let's dive in. Chantel and I, we like to rate episode by episode, but Danny, since you're coming in, you can do it however you want. This episode or the whole season throughout. Just a reminder to everybody. So let us start off with Brandon. Chantel.
No, I can't start with Brandon because I think I'm going to give him a really bad score, and I don't want Danny to be mad at me. So,
Okay.
So Sarah, you're going to start here.
I will start us off with Brandon.
Even though he's my Survivor crush.
I know.
Like for this episode, I might have to downrank him a little bit, but...
Yes, Chantel and Brandon we're gonna set them up after the season is over. Brandon is on my draft team, so I do have to root for him. I need the points from you, sir. But yeah, each episode I feel like we just get like a little bit of information that makes us go, oh no, Brandon. But he's not doing anything majorly wrong, and he's not also running anything perfectly well. So I do have to just put him in the middle with 3 dice. Let me pull that. Where are my dice? I'm not prepared. Okay, 3 dice for Brandon. Look, he was on the winning team. So I got to take that into consideration for this episode. He did mention Kane's name, which on one hand is like trying to direct the vote, but I didn't feel like he had a compelling argument. I don't feel like he sat there at the table and convinced everybody that Kane should go. He was like, Kane looked at me funny and Kane should go. Again, like some highs and some lows from Brandon. So 3 from me.
Okay.
Is that enough, Chantel? Are you able to now talk
Okay.
about Brandon?
So, I mean, I agree with all these things, and I wanted to start off giving him a 3, but because we only have 5 dice, like it's kind of like 3 is just like pretty much middle of the road. And I do think that him divulging that information at that merge feast wasn't good because Carson ran back and told Kane about the situation. And I do feel like he kind of recovered a little bit, but I think it might be a bad moving forward because it might come back that he kind of, talked about his guy Kane, and like maybe he might become a target in the next episode or coming episode. So I just feel like it just put him in a bad position with Carson going over right there and divulging the fact that he said his name at well, not him specifically, but it might come out further that he said his name. So I'm just worried. And so I just have to go down just a little bit from a 3. And the only thing I can do with that is a 2. And so I had to give him a 2. I'm sorry, Danny. But just this episode. Episode.
I honestly, I got to say this. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Because, I'll do this one based on the whole season because we did talk about divulging too much information. And I know before he went in the game, he said that he was not going to tell anybody that he found an idol, and he would possibly do everything that he could to make sure that nobody else knew. And then as soon as he found, I'm like, hey man, you got to be a little bit more sly with it. Make sure that nobody sees you. Then he tells the whole tribe, and then he has the reward with Carolyn. And then that was like, okay, a little bit too much talking again, or not being kind of aware of the surroundings. And then we go with the Carson thing, and it's just more information. So, he's winning. I haven't heard anybody say that it's like, or they want to get him out. There's no momentum to get him out of the game. But just the information and being able to hold it a little bit longer, my guy. I want you to hold it a little bit longer. So I'm going to give him a 3.
A 3. That's fair. Okay. All of that's understandable. The audience also gave him 3 dice. So he is going to average out with 3 dice.
No, I am worried. I'm just worried that he's going to be the target next. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just scared. I'm just scared.
I don't know that he's going to be the next target.
His idols is still active, right? The ones in the cage are active throughout the entire game.
Yeah, but he used it already. But he didn't.
Oh, he used it at the beginning. Goodness. Okay, maybe I should have went to 2. No, he didn't. No. I'm gonna keep him at 3. I forgot he used it as soon as he. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Now we don't know anything about the fake idol that he has alongside with it, so maybe that will pop up, and then that episode will give him a little bit of a boost. But we haven't heard anything about his extra fake idol.
Yeah, we didn't get to see people talking about the birdcage idol came with a fake idol. Like that should now be common knowledge. Not everyone knew that. So some of these fake idols should start to be apparent that they are fake, but we don't know that yet. That will be interesting. Okay, next up is Queen, Icon, Legend, Carolyn. Chantel, are you comfortable starting with Carolyn?
Carolyn, yes. Obviously, Carolyn has been quite a fun delight and surprise this season. The fact that she has an idol that nobody knows about. She was able to hide that idol and have Sarah find it and not realize that it was fake until she watched the season, if I'm not mistaken. And, she was on the winning side of this mergatory game or competition, whatever you want to call it. And so I think she's doing pretty well. She got up that ramp pretty easily. I was like, go Carolyn, like helping other people get up the ramp in that competition. And I just feel like she is doing well, but nobody takes her seriously. And so she even was giving like accurate information at the merch feast, and nobody cared that she knew that his idol was fake, and nobody wanted to take what she had to say at any face value. So I worry for her that she's not going to be able to do that well later on in the game. But for this episode, I couldn't give her a 5, because we love Carolyn. I gave her a 4 because I think she's in a good spot. Nobody's really looking at her, but it just because of the fact that people are not really listening to her, I'm going to give her a 4. But I think she's doing way better than I expected her to, and I want to give her props for that.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that 4 dice up right there because absolutely Queen Carolyn gets 4 dice. I feel like the opposite. She is so underestimated. People take her not seriously at all. This woman is going to sail to final 3, and she's going to sit there at the end and be like, you didn't listen to me. You didn't listen to me. I knew what was happening this entire time. I think she's in a great spot because of that. She still has a secret idol that no one knows about, and she's not even having to use it because this time, even though she's like weird and people don't like put a lot of faith in her, they're not targeting her, right? Like she was not a name at all this episode. So 4 dice for Carolyn. Keep it going. Keep underestimating.
Well, I'm going 5.
I'm fine with that.
Listen, like y'all said at the beginning of the podcast, Gabler. Like I'm looking at another version of what do you see when you look at Carolyn? And people are doing that thing. Like, man, I don't think she's much. I don't think she's a threat. I don't think she's got it all together to where she can really play this smart, quiet game and really like. Could she have an idol? Nah, she would have to tell people if she did.
Right?
She's like, no, actually not. Actually, I don't think Karen's aware enough to pick. I mean, Carolyn is aware to pick up on this conversation that we're having about romance, and when we go back and gonna work, whatever. So much so that they have this conversation in front of her. She just keeps taking it in, doesn't really give so much pushback to where it's like, oh, maybe we need to pay attention. So then now she can go back and divulge that information to whoever she wants. I think she's going to end up being a leader of the people against the muscle guys. So I think she's going to make some noise soon.
All right.
I love it.
I support it. For her whole game, 5 for sure.
Yes.
This episode for me, they just didn't appreciate her. But
yeah, I gave her a 5 last time. She's getting 5s for sure. The audience gave her a 4, so unfortunately she's going to average out at 4 dice instead of 5, but that's just right now because she's going to get more 5 dice later. I agree. Yay, Carolyn. But speaking of 5 dice, Mr. Carson is going to get 5 dice from me. And going off of what Danny just said about like leading a revolt against the muscly guys, I think Carson is going to have a big part of that along with Carolyn. What I saw him do in this episode is not only beast out that puzzle like at a ridiculous level, which made him a complete star. But he did a really good job of like kind of gathering in his numbers, including the Three Stooges, which was him, Carolyn, and Jam Jam. That is a group of people that no one's taken seriously. No one's going to eyeball. And they can do a lot of damage, I think, a little bit under the radar. I felt good about him giving out that information that, oh, the idol doesn't have power anymore. I was given this, but like, I don't have power anymore. I think that's a good way to also get people to trust him. I really loved Carson this episode. So he's up to 5 dice from me.
Ooh. Am I next?
Sure, Chantel, go for it.
Well, are we in agreements today? Because I also gave Carson 5 dice because I agree with everything that you said. I think that he is, yes, underestimated, but he is playing the game really well and really hard. And he's thinking about everything that he's doing. The fact that that puzzle is still difficult, even if you practiced it 1,000 times at home. Like
right?
Doing it under pressure, not eating in that heat, like that's still a difficult task for like, what is he, 19? Like a young guy to do. Like I think that that's also very, very impressive. The fact that he told Kane this information, I don't think it actually is going to be bad for him because I think it shows trust with Kane and building that trust with people that we're going to maybe consider to be the outsiders here that are going to be able to come together and take over the game, which I think would be amazing. I think that he's a vital piece here, and Carolyn trusts him 99.9%. And I think that that's really powerful because she does have that idol. That means that they might be able to make a really amazing correct play with that idol with that group of people. So I think that he's really lining himself up to be in a very, very good position, and I want to reward him with those 5 dice this episode because he did a good job. Good take.
Ooh, Danny.
I want to agree with y'all so bad. Okay, listen. I'll do this one. Okay, for the episode, I'm going to give him a 5. For the episode, I give him a 5. The thing that worries me about Carson is that I believe that he's going to be the shield for Carolyn. I think like they are going to work together. But like I said, when I'm looking at these two and I'm trying to decide which one I should take out and then bring the other one in, or how do I chop the head off the snake? I'm thinking it's Carson. You know, the glasses, he's smart. He did the puzzle, which now everybody is aware that, hey, man, once we get to these individual immunities, the first time he kills a puzzle like that will be the first time where people start to say, you know what? I'm probably not going to be able to beat him in these immunities, and we need to probably take him out. So it won't be the former NFL player as the threat. It may be Carson as the. But for this episode, I think he played an amazing Survivor-esque game with giving the information away, making sure he's getting all his ducks in a row. So when the fight does start, I think he's going to have a lot of people on his side.
So are you sticking with a 5?
Sticking with a 5.
Okay.
This episode he did a really good job. He did a really good job.
Right? Insane, incredible. Look, the audience gave him 4 dice, but it don't matter because the man is going to average out to 5 this week. Yay, Carson. Yeah, I don't know if Carson can make it to the end, but I hope so.
That puzzle looks hard. That puzzle, like, it looks very difficult. Like having it upright and like the pieces are very confusing. So I like puzzles.
To do it 1,000 times to like memorize it.
I guess it's
right?
memorized. Yeah,
it's so hard.
He's good.
He is good. All right. How about Danny? Danny, can you start with Danny? What do you think about Danny?
This is great. I'm giving him a 4.
All right.
I like Dan. I think he's playing a really good game, minus the bromance thing at the reward with Carolyn. I think everything else he's done for me has been positive. He's not talking too much about his advantages. He's going around. He's making sure that he's trying to set up alliances, even if he's doing it in front of the wrong people. But I don't see anybody saying, hey, we need to get Dan out. And right now, I think that's the most important thing. Like, you are not on anybody's radar. You're figuring out a way to maneuver through the game and be a little sneaky. And then him being able to be sneaky for the merge. I probably one of the only people outside of Carolyn to like not divulge information that will get him in trouble. If he can keep that up, I think he'll be all right. So I'm gonna give him a 4. I like him. He has my name, so shout out to him.
Chantel, what did you think about Danny this week?
Well, I mean, I've been obviously really plussed with Danny's gameplay for most of the season. And as a person, I met him a little over a month ago, and I thought he was great in person. So I've been happy to root for him. I couldn't go as high as a 4 this week for the fact that he's on the losing group. I know that his name was not part of the conversation, so that's definitely pretty amazing. It shows that he has a really great social game. But just for the fact that I just feel like he didn't just do as well as he could have this particular week. Like, I just feel like he didn't really move things in motion. Like, I think he might have benefited from keeping Josh in this game. Like, Josh was not going after him. The fact that he allowed Josh to go, I mean, we haven't seen everything, so we don't know why he wanted maybe Josh out of this game. But I thought it might have been better to keep Josh in this game for right now, because you might want to have more numbers with your original tribe, because we're going to be merging. So I gave him a 3 because I'm just not sure how things are going to settle out after everybody comes back together and are actually on a merged tribe.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with 3 dice, and that's only because of this episode. Danny, I've given him 5 and 4 already this season because he is doing so well overall. He still has an idol that is completely a secret, and obviously nobody is saying his name. He was really running stuff previously, and I was a bit surprised that he wasn't running this merge episode. And on one hand, I think that was probably good to just dial it back. Don't be all showy and direct the vote if you don't have to. Other people were saying Josh. He had alluded to Josh being shady. So I do think something was there where he didn't trust Josh. So I'm okay with him losing Josh. But he was on the losing team. He wasn't running things. So even though he's obviously not in a bad place, I am just going to bump him down this episode to 3 dice.
I have a question, though.
Love Danny. He's also on my draft team. Sorry.
That's okay. It was a bit of a...
I feel like Team USA here.
It was a bit of a debate, though. So when he had that broke down at that journey with Carolyn and Brandon, and was talking about how, like, oh, we're going to bring Josh in, was that all just actually maybe for Carolyn to overhear and maybe take him out at the tribal? Because that's what I was thinking, maybe. And then the fact that he didn't want to save him this episode, and, like, we hear Franny and Matt not really wanting to work with him at the merch feast. Was that maybe a slick move that we just didn't really see all sides of it?
I think he was serious. And I think once he got back to the beach and he started hearing everybody's opinion on Josh, he was like, oh man, wait, he got caught with a fake idol? Wait, he lied about the couple doesn't like him? No, what? Oh man, like, I can't stick my neck out for the guy if everybody wants to go against him. So he kind of just probably let it go.
Fair.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't really feel like he was pushing hard for Josh at that reward. He was just like, "Oh yeah, Josh is cool," and so I didn't think he was really like making a big thing. But I could totally see him be like, "Oh, everybody's saying Josh's name. I'm not saying a darn thing."
Especially since he was on the chopping block this week, so he was like, anybody but me for this little vote.
Right. Well, the audience gave him 3 dice, so he is going to average out with 3 dice this week, and that takes us to 1/2 of Frat Manny. Blankenship. Thank you. 1/2 of the duo. That's Franny. My adorable Franny. We have said that she's probably not going before Matt. That if anyone out of the duo is gonna go, she would go second. Look, she was on the winning team. She managed her relationships well, I thought. But I'm just going to keep her middle of the road. I'm going to keep her at 3 dice. I don't know. I adore her. She's doing just fine, but nothing is jumping out at me. It's not a slight against you, Franny.
It's so hard when we have this kind of split thing because only half of the tribe was in danger. So it's not really in their best interest to push a certain agenda necessarily because, like, they don't want to step out into the spotlight here. But I think I'm going to give Franny a little bit more credit for the fact that she did so well, in my opinion, in that challenge. I was not expecting her to be the first person to run up that ramp and get to the top and start helping people up. I was like, excuse me, Franny, are you going to be the conversation of like the merge? I was really impressed by that, and impressed by the fact that she doesn't. Yes, her and Matt are holding hands at night and having, cutesy conversations. But like Jamie still doesn't seem to realize that they're in a relationship, basically. And she doesn't divulge that to her. Like, no, I really like, oh no, I'm really good. Like, she doesn't really give up that much, even though Jamie is way off base here. So I'm gonna give Franny four little dice here, because I like what she was doing this episode.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Danny, how do you think?
No. I'm going 3.
Okay.
Only because the opposite part is she did great. Like, no reason to push, right? You don't have any issues. This holding hand stuff and not being able to stay away, when we know Classic Survivor is, that means you're 2 votes, they're gonna split you up. And just because Jamie isn't seeing it, that may be the reason why they continue to do it so much, and then everybody else started to see it. I believe Dan's going to see it, because I believe he sees everything. And then he's going to then tell Brandon, and then all of a sudden it'll be, wait, which one of these do we need to get out? And then who does Carson choose? Does he choose Franny or not? Like, how do they decide? So I think the fact that they just keep saying we need to stop, and then they continue doing it, I'm like, gotta give her a 3.
Are you standing in the way of young love? Island love?
No, Jeff Probes is, because they set the game up this way.
Yeah, I agree. Love together off of the island, right? Like, be together forever. We will support it. But you're playing a game, and yes, on one hand, they're like, okay, we won't tell anybody. But then obviously they're sneaking off together all the time. And every single scene, they're standing next to each other. Like, it's not going to take long to figure this out. And we'll get to the Jamie part when we get to her.
So what do they do? Just putting it out. What do they do at the end, right? Final 4, final 5. And they're still rolling along with them 2. They're playing the same exact game. Do they just say, oh, we're in love? Like, one of us is going to win. One of us is going to win. We're going to, go and see what happens, who they vote for? Or will Franny say, you know what? She's like the one who's more of like, hey, I might choose myself over you. Does she? Can she pull that move?
She would do it. I think she'd do it, and Matt would forgive her easily. Like, I don't think she would be afraid of that at all.
I don't know. I don't know if she's got it in her, but they have to be split up before they get to the end, period. Yeah. Somebody has to do it. Look, the audience actually gave her 4 dice. So she is going to average out to 4 dice today, guys. Way to support your girl, Franny.
Young love.
Young love.
Well, I mean, I wish that they still did the
love.
Reunion 3 months later, because then maybe we would get a proposal.
We would 100% get a proposal. Matt is 100% proposing to Franny. It is happening. We need it on television. Jeff, don't give us that reunion right away. Heidi is up next. Chantel. Heidi who? Wait, what?
Yeah, that's something I'm like, Heidi who is right. I like her so far. I like the fact that it seems like her and Lauren might be talking a little bit. And so potentially something is brewing there, but I didn't see that much from Heidi on this episode. I guess it's good the fact that her name didn't come up at all, and she was on the losing side here. So that's good. But I think I just have to give her a 3, middle of the road. I don't have much to say. I want to say more. Yeah. I hope there's more to say, more to come. But as of right now, like, she hasn't done anything bad or anything good. Like, so she's just kind of right down the middle for me.
Yeah, I'm going to take off even another dice.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, I have given her.
Because she's an Aquarius, right?
Oh, is she an Aquarius? Yeah. I've given her some good dice this season, because I do like that she and Danny are like number ones, I think, as far as I can tell. I think that's a good duo. And you're right. She was not a target. Her name did not come up. I also did kind of value her read on like something's off with Josh. Don't know if he has the idol or not. Like I felt like she was on it, but she was on the losing tribe. It didn't feel like she was really, we barely saw her. And I just didn't feel like she was being a part of the conversation really. So I just had to knock her down a couple dice. Ugh. And honestly, it was when I started comparing who was getting a 3 on my list.
Sure.
I went back and had to put her down to a 2 because there were other people who were doing a little bit more that I gave 3s to. So sorry.
You might have just knocked me down to a 2 because I was about to give her a 3 and then I was going to compare her to Franny, and then I gave Franny a
That's true.
Right? Franny's doing better. Mm-hmm.
I would say this, she should thank Josh for being so horrible. He somehow took the all the attention off of everybody else except him. But yeah, I mean 2 because Franny got a 3, but yes, nobody mentioned her. She kind of had a read on it, but she didn't really like stand on her really like her gut feeling. But most of it is because didn't really see much of her, didn't really do much, and I don't know what would have happened had Josh not have been like the sneakiest guy and the most shadiest guy on the island. Because that's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Right? Would she have been, one of the targets? Well. Luckily, the audience gave her 3, so she is going to average out with 3 dice. So not too bad for someone who's barely in.
Sorry, Heidi.
But do you know what though? I've been thinking about how this new era of Survivor has been editing, and the winner we've never seen them coming. So I'm now thinking that some of these people that are getting really small edits might be that they're just saving the whole like I have an idol in my back pocket that you didn't know about it mic drop moment, and they're going to win the season. So I'm not going to counter out completely. So all the people that are not getting confessionals, that are not really in the episode, to me no longer means that they're not winning the game. It means that they're probably getting to the end and we're going to hear their story later. Or
shout out to the Lulu trial. We started all that.
Exactly. You know exactly what we're saying here.
Yeah, for sure. Although I will say that they start now after merge, we start to see them in the edit. So we do need to see the Heidis and the Laurens of this season in the edit now if it's going to stick to these past edits of the new era. Jamie. Oh, Jamie, sweet Jamie, the most valuable player on the island. Who is starting this out? Should I start this out? Did you just start us out, Chantel?
I don't know, but I feel like you have something to say. I don't know who wants to hold you back. Not I.
No, don't hold me out. Hold me back. What is this edit that Jamie is getting? It is like it's a delusional edit, but it's also full of such joy. Like she is having the time of her life out there, but she thinks that she has all of the information. She thinks she has a real idol. Her and her magic wand are winning, but at some point it is going to smack her in the face. So I am worried, but it's not happening yet. So I am going to give her 3 dice at this moment. She was on the winning tribe. Like she said, winning tribe, got the merch, got the buff and the food, and she's got it all.
Bing,
bing, bing. So at this moment, she has 3 dice, but I am holding my breath on how this slightly delusional edit is going to come and bite her.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming fast, I'm sure. It's coming fast, I'm sure, because with the soundbite being like, I know everything that's going on here. I'm the most valuable player of this game. And I'm like, the fact that she said that, I could not give her 3 stars because or 3 dice because we know that she does not know anything that's going on in this game. For the fact that she even went up to Franny and was like, yeah, we got to get rid of this Mac guy or whatever. Like, wrong person to bring that up to. Like, she can't get 3 from me. She can only get two. As much as I love manifestation, I love directing your thoughts to positivity and creating your own reality. And yes, I agree with all this, but there's also has to be a slight bit of like reality placed in there, especially on a reality TV show. And she doesn't seem to have any of that at this point. So I worry for Jamie. She's cute, but I think she's in for a rude awakening very, very soon. So I can only give her two.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Danny.
Yeah, listen. I mean, this one won't take long. Okay, she doesn't know anything. She has it all wrong except being on the winning tribe.
She almost messed that up for them too. Like she couldn't get up that ramp.
She doesn't like, and they're giving her like the delusional edit, which means that's her arc of like, it's probably gonna start that way and it's gonna end that way of like, I'm gonna go home with this fake idol because I'm gonna tell everybody I got it. I'm gonna show, and then it's gonna be like the same way that thing happened to Josh, except Jam Jam might be like, we're not gonna tell her that it's not real, and we just gonna let her go and say, I'm the MVP. Here you go, Jeff, and she's gonna be the next person to hand Jeff the fake one, think she's safe, and then he's gonna be like, this is not an idol.
Oh my gosh! I wonder if do you think they'll do the Bing sound effect?
Oh no! You know the way that they're setting her up. You know that's what's going to happen.
My stomach's in knots though right now. Like this is like the cookie idol, you know? Like I'm so nervous. Did you watch Australian Survivor, Danny?
No, I did not watch it. Where was everybody watching it at?
There's like, it's not on anymore, but there was a person that was streaming it on YouTube. It had most of the episodes, and then VPN, then on the 10 play.
Yeah, you got to get a VPN, Danny. Just put your time on Australia.
It's so shorter on time these days with this too. We get like 2 episodes or something in, and that's it.
Australian Survivor is so much. It's 3 times a week. It's too much.
It's a lot, but like I did tell my mom to watch it, and she watched it all in 2 days and caught up and was like obsessed.
There was a guy who thought he had an idol for like half the season, and it was not an idol.
I will say this. I enjoyed, and this is no shot at American Survivor. After I got off of Survivor and they did the hourglass and all this stuff, I went because they had it on Paramount Plus, and they had all the seasons of Australian Survivor. Mm-hmm. And I got through like 2 seasons in like a day and a half.
Oh
yeah,
and then they took it off.
Yeah, I think it's because it's so good. They're like, here. Yeah. But yeah, it's the best one in my opinion out of all the Australian seasons for sure. So if you get a chance, like,
eventually get to it over the summer or something. Get to it. Yeah. All right, Danny, what are you saying about Jamie? What's the number?
Yes, 2. I don't want to give anybody a 1, but it was very close. That was very close to like everything wrong. This is Survivor. Have some knowledge is power. She got no power.
Oh no!
Sorry, Jamie. I love you. I'm just based on the play. So.
Yeah. Well, lucky for her, the audience gave her 3. So she is going to average out at 3 dice. But I can't argue with anything you guys said. It is not pretty.
You have a nice audience.
Yeah, they were feeling nice.
Forgiving for sure.
They're not always nice, but they were this time. All right, Kane. Oh, he's Canadian. Chantel, start us off with your fellow Canadian.
Oh, Canada. Okay. I mean, I want to see him do well. And I think it's really great that Carson seems to want to be gathering him in. And so that bodes well for the future of Kane's game, potentially. But he was not in a good position this episode. He was on the losing tribe. Brandon was giving up his name. That means he wasn't particularly valued by Brandon, even though they started on a tribe together. The fact that his name was the other name potentially to be going home, I'm going to have to give him a 2 because he didn't do very well this episode. Yes, I think it was good that he was able to get another name out there, so it wasn't necessarily him, but like people wanted him to go, or people didn't care for him to stay that much other than Carson, and so that's not great. So, Kane.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It pains me to give Kane 2 dice. I really want him to do something here at some point. I'm hoping he's the one that has barely been in the edit that like surges at some point here because he seemed like he had a fun personality. but he was a target. He was on the losing side. He thought he was aligned with Brandon when clearly Brandon could care less about him. You know, the fact that he ran back that information from Carson to Brandon just really made me go, oh, good Lord, your reads are off. And Carson is like trying to build this like nerd herd here. And Kane just didn't seem to manage that relationship well. He also didn't seem to manage the Jam Jam relationship well. Like Jam Jam didn't even want to vote Kane out. There were only a couple people willing to save Kane, and those are the people that Kane was like, So that's not good. Since the rest of them didn't want to save him or barely wanted to save him, yeah, unfortunately, Kane, that's 2 dice from me.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow suit with that one and give him 2. I think he is trying to play the Carson game, but he is not playing the Carson game. He's not being able to maneuver between multiple people and try to figure out how he can get himself in the middle. Him trying to play the middle of Brandon and Carson almost got him out of the game. So I don't think he has that. He's not as knowledgeable as a Carson. So when I'm seeing Carson and the way he's playing, and then how Kane is failing at it so far, can it change? Yes, it can change. But right now, I was going to give him a 2 because, like you said, he was on his way out. Another person who was saved by how bad John was
Another person that owes Josh. Yes. Oh, all right. Well, the audience actually gave him 2 dice as well, so he is confused.
But the audience is with you at the 2. Like, you did a bad job this week.
Oh, poor Kane. We need more from you. Okay. Oh, sweet Lauren.
Oh.
Is Lauren in the show? Lauren.
At the beginning, she was.
We did, yeah. And I still remember her riding up in a boat with a sword. That was epic. I appreciate that moment, Lauren. But once again, comparing to what I'm giving other people, I had to drop her down to 2 dice. She is so not in the edit. She was on the losing tribe. I mean, good for you for not being a target. No one said your name. But I don't think she's got any say or pull, any agency in the game. And as she doesn't have any idols or anything. So I have to give her a 2.
Oh, yes. Lauren, come on. I mean, she's at least joking in her own social media, being like, will I be in the edit this week? So I mean, more must be going on that they're just not showing us with her game. I'm also hopeful with like people saying that it looks like her shadow on like the flag, so maybe that's like the winner edit, that maybe she's just getting a quiet edit. So I'm hoping that we'll see more from Lauren going on later on the season.
Okay.
But this episode, she didn't do anything that we saw. She was on the losing tribe. Yeah, her name didn't come up. So that's good. But yeah, she gets 2 from me as well, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm sorry, Lauren. I want to give you more. I want you to be that winner with that torch. But
does Lauren still? She has an extra vote.
Yes.
Okay.
She does.
Okay. So the reason I'm going to give her a 3.
Okay.
Is because usually I don't like when people divulge their information when they give it out, especially when nobody catches them. But I'm not sure if she used that because she did tell them that she had an extra vote in the episode.
Yeah.
So did she use that to like buy favor and make sure that people wanted to keep her in the game so they could have that advantage on their side as well? Or was she just, getting it out there because people had already known that she had it? To me, either way, I think is a smart play. Mm-hmm. So just for that and her not being in the edit and then nobody really said her name, I'm just going to assume that was her using that advantage, to the best that she could, and they didn't mention her, so
right.
I'll just give it to her for that. Lauren, I hope you get more. I did meet Lauren at a Survivor watch party, so hey, Lauren, 3. That's the pay for the hug that you gave me.
Well, good. That is a good point. I do agree with you. I do think that the way that she revealed that was in that sort of, hey, let's all be friends and work together, even though people are coming over. I have an extra vote, you know. So I do agree with you there. And the audience also gave her 3 dice, so that now she averages out at 3 dice. Thanks to Danny and the audience. All right, just a couple more here. Up next is the other half of Blankenship, but the one with a fake idol. Matt. Chantel, how do you feel about Matt right now?
Well, I gave Franny four dice.
You did.
I don't think that he's in as good of a place as Franny is, and we already talked about the fact, like, we think that Franny might be capable of like cutting him near the end, and I do not think that that's possible the other way around. And so I think this episode showed me even more that he's more in the love game as opposed to playing the game of Survivor. I'm sure he's a super fan and he loves being there, but I think this relationship is kind of taking him out of the game a little bit, it seems. He's unaware of his fake idol. Poor guy. So, I mean, I don't think that he's doing as bad as some of the people that I gave 2s to. So I'm going to bump him up to a 3. He's in the middle here. He was on the winning side of things. We didn't see him push to his agenda too much. He was kind of go with the flow with what people wanted. I think he did say a little bit that like he doesn't care for Josh that much, but you know, he got the person that he wanted out of the game. So I guess that's a plus, but still kind of middle of the road for me. So 3.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on the 3. He didn't have a vote. He had lost 2 votes. But I do feel like he managed it well. You know, he was making sure that it was a large enough majority that his vote wasn't going to become a thing. It looked like he was managing relationships fairly well with, I liked that he was talking to Jam Jam about how like Josh is not somebody that we're necessarily protecting here. So like I'm okay with what he's doing, but I do think he's distracted by the relationship as well. He was on the winning team, so I'm going to keep him on the higher side with 3 dice.
Yeah,
when it starts to the side.
2 plus 2 does make 4. So I did give his partner a 2.
Wait.
Did I give her a 2 or a 3?
You gave her a 3.
Okay, well, I'm giving him a 2. That is perfect. Okay. He's getting a 2. 1, because like we said, I don't think he has it in him to make a move if he needs to that will save him with this relationship. I don't think he can, because I think he's smitten. I think he's there. Like you said, he may propose at the live reunion. He may have built a ring that he's waiting to use when he gets to the live reunion. And the fact that he's not able to see the same way she is, like holding hands, people are going to notice what's going on, and eventually there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem, and you can hear him keep saying it. I think we should stop. Don't stop. I think we should stop. Don't stop. The editor's telling us that they've discussed this multiple times, and they just said, "Hey, oh wait, it doesn't matter. We're going to keep doing it." And one of them is going to bite the bullet, and I think it's going to be him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if Rob and Amber taught us anything, they're going to take him out, and then maybe she wins the whole thing. Who knows? But yes, I agree with you, Danny. The audience, however, gave him 3, so he is going to average out 3 dice. We have 1 person left, you guys. Mr. Entertainment, Jam Jam himself. Chantel, would you like to start us off?
Sure. I mean, I love Jam Jam. I wanted him and Carolyn to get back together so badly. Like, why do I need those two to be friends and like I just need them to be working together. And I think it will happen once Carson's kind of back in the picture and starts building this group of people. I think that they might be able to come on the same page. But he wasn't in a great position this episode on the losing tribe. The name being who others wanted to have out of this game. Like Josh immediately was like, Jam Jam, we got to get him out. Like, and it's not good having someone just say your name so emphatically that like he has to be the one that goes. Regardless of whether he stays or goes, it's still going to tinkle in the minds of the players that are still remaining in the game. So I'm worried for him moving forward. If he doesn't have Carolyn on his side, like, Who does he have? So I'm worried for Jam Jam, and he's gonna be in the 2 zone with the others. Yeah, 2 dice.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. This was not a good episode for him. I personally think that he won some people over this episode. I think his sense of humor, his goofiness did make people not really want to vote him out too much. And I think that now that Josh is out, they're going to realize that was just a Jam Jam thing. And I don't think that Jam Jam is going to be the target in the next couple weeks. I think that he's going to be able to fall in line with Carolyn and Carson. Carson is definitely the glue.
But even if Carson had already told them all, like, hey, Jam Jam was running things over at that tribe. Just curious how that might play.
Yeah, that might do something. But it was like he was a target at first, and then they were like, "Oh, he's so funny!" Like he made everyone at Tribal laugh. I just was kind of feeling like maybe he kind of fix some things, but we've seen him rub people the wrong way. So the day he starts to rub people the wrong way, they're going to be like, oh yeah, remember he was running things at Tika. So I'm not saying he's going to Final 3 here or anything, but yeah, I also was very happy that he got his gratification. Good for him. He obviously was saved. So I'm hopeful, but yeah, at 2, he was just not in a good place here.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with the 2. It's kind of hard to get a read on him. He like wants to talk a lot, and sometimes he jumps too much, and the conversation goes a little bit into like divulging too much about your game. I think his saving grace is going to be, again, Josh, and then also that Carolyn. I think Carolyn needs him now. She wants to get the army together with Carson and go against the strong guys. I think that they're going to need him to be on their side. I think they're still going to be watching out for him to say, hey, he's still a little sneaky. But I think I agree with Sarah with them saying, hey, maybe that was just a Josh thing. And then now nobody trusts Josh. Nobody believed him. So now it's like I think he has a chance to like build that rapport back with those people now that Josh is gone and nobody's poisoning the well on Jam Jam. Unless Carolyn's like, nah.
You know what?
Still like gotta go. So I think it's gonna be a tough road to have for him, but if he picks the right side and does the right things, I think he'll be okay.
When Jam Jam got like 3 votes or whatever, Carolyn did do like a
she was pissed. She was like,
so that made me feel like okay, she's already like realized the 3 Stooges have to work together. So I'm hoping that's the case. The audience gave Jam Jam 3 dice, but that does not matter. He's going to average out with 2 dice.
So nice.
Sorry, guys.
Did they give anybody 2?
Episode. Yeah, the audience gave Kane 2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But no 1s, no 5s. And we didn't give. Oh no, Carson averages out at 5. Yeah, Carson has 5 dice. That's our highest for this. And then
Kane's the lowest, I guess.
Kane with the lowest at a 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that is this episode, this round of dice. Danny, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on season 43.
Gary, look, well, for the win. Well, yeah, Gary, I found him. Now Carolyn might be next, but who knows? Thank y'all for having me, as always. I'm glad we could finally connect. I know it took a while, but glad we made it.
And if anyone doesn't know, they can currently watch Danny on the challenge. What is it called? Global Championship? Global? Yeah. On Paramount Plus. Danny is currently on over there.
Making a splash. Go to watch Danny. Like, it's worth it.
Tune in tomorrow. It's a spicy episode.
So excited.
We love spicy.
It should be fun. I can't wait to watch Chantel and talk about it.
That's right. Watch it on Paramount Plus and then go to Reality Realness and watch Chantel talk about it. Sometimes Danny jumps in the chat. We love that. And then we can't wait to hear more from Danny after the season is over.
Yay.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Can't really say anything now. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us live and getting your ratings in. We appreciate it. And if anyone is joining later, please leave a comment. Let us know your ratings, how many dice you're giving out. Are you got any 5s and 1s out there? And we will see you all next time. Thank you, everybody. Bye.